needs another nudge.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
But this is going on all around in state government, so.
I bet you could make the money to build the yard just out off the scrap metal. That's where the money could come from.
35,000.
Well, I don't know.
No grants available either. Okay. Thank you. Tom, do you want to go into non-public for another reason?
Yeah, I just have two quick things.
Okay, now we have one quick thing.
Okay.
Yeah, let's have Kathy come up. She's the clerk.
Want me to get Kathy?
No.
No, we have the right Kathy here.
Kathy is our right-hand person, our clerk for Hale's location. And you have, and stay here because we got a legal situation here, I think. Go ahead.
About the unreserved fund balance?
About using money to do the roads in Hale's location.
They have an unreserved fund balance of almost $500,000. And the Department of Revenue recommends their unreserved fund balance to be between 17 and 22% of their budget. So it actually should be at $40,000. They would like to fix their roads. They don't have a line item for highways and streets. Currently, their association takes care of plowing and what have you. And they said last week that they've been using capital reserve funds to do that. So they would like to add in a line for highways and streets to reseal all of their roads and then use some of that unreserved fund balance to offset it when the tax rate is set.
The problem we have is that the county commissioners are responsible for certain items like fire, ambulance, schools.
Yep.
We're not responsible for lights, we're not responsible for water, we're not responsible for roads. So the association is, they pay dues to the association. We collect taxes to take care of the schools, the ambulance, and the fire. And now we're getting into elections, which is going to be an item that we're going to have to do because Conway doesn't want the whole elections in Conway. So we're going to have to decide where that's going to go, which is going to be another expense. But are we obligated? One of the problems we have with Hale's location budget is if we have 2 students that just came in, that's 40,000 right there. So if we set 40,000 as a percentage of the total budget, and 3 more kids come in, then we'll be hurting. So I no question, we need to reduce that 500,000, but down to something that maybe is a little more reasonable than 40. But the legality, they're responsible for it. They pay dues to the association. They're only paying, what, $3.05 or something like that, 1,000?
$1.58.
A what?
$1.58.
Last I heard was $3.
And that's how you accumulated that fund?
The accumulating, it happens when they don't spend all of their budget, their
Yeah.
appropriated budget. It goes into the unreserved fund balance. Doesn't necessarily mean that they have that cash, but it becomes a virtual account. And years and years and years, it just has built up to this amount.
Yeah.
With the understanding that, for the most part, though occasionally they have children living there.
Right.
So you have to provide a budget line for those, for that. And then kids will disappear. And
Yeah.
so that's, where the money is there,
Right.
it has not been used, except, and that's partially how that kind of accumulation occurs.
And this year, we have appropriated $40,000 for the 2 current students, but as I understand it, there's possibly 2 more students coming in, which is going to total, I think it was $60,000. So if that is the case, that line will have to be overspent, obviously. But my suggestion is for this year to possibly use some of the UFB to offset that overspending amount.
Yeah, I just think we have to review it with revenue and.
I have an email into Michelle Clark
Yeah.
of the Department of Revenue, and she apparently is out of the office, so.
Yeah, because of the uniqueness of the difference between the towns and the unincorporated township, I just think it would be a review with
Yeah.
staff and then bring back and maybe a reappropriation, but just have to deal with it.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, I mean, we could look into that.
Yeah, I guess it's the legality
Right.
of what the association's
Yeah.
responsibilities are and what ours is.
Right, or what we can do with,
Right.
that's the.
I mean, that's the
real thing.
agreement that everybody
Yeah.
agreed to that's in that development.
Yeah,
They signed off that they pay association dues for these things. How we can move some of that over into the tax structure
yeah.
is legal.
Yeah, I think
Do
just.
we need to go to Attorney General or?
Well, just, it's working, they do have a branch that works with revenue. So
Okay.
we'll just have to coordinate it. I just need the figures to review it and just have the facts and we will get it reviewed and then bring it back.
Okay.
Where is the $500,000 now?
It's-
In which fund?
It's a virtual account, it's not actually a cash account. So if they appropriated $100,000 for their budget for the year, they only spent $80,000. $20,000 goes into the unreserved fund balance. So after years and years of this happening, they're not spending the full bottom line budget, it's built up to almost $500,000. It doesn't, it's a virtual account, it doesn't mean that actually the cash exists.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
yeah, that just has to be addressed.
Yeah. David?
Would the simplest thing to do be to take the unreserved fund balance money and pay the association to fix the roads if they don't have the money to do it themselves?
So that's what they're asking.
Yeah, you have to have
That's
authority.
what they want.
You'd have to have authority.
Would there be a
And-
vote? Is that?
We
Right
need
now,
a-
we're the
we
select-
need a-
Vote.
We need a clarification because of the authority to expend.
Right.
I
Right.
don't, I
But
don't,
could the
Right.
residents vote?
No.
There's no.
and I don't believe that we have, as selectmen, any responsibility or any way of telling the association what they can or cannot do.
Right,
Right.
and vice versa.
Yeah,
Right.
because I live in a place that has an association, and the town has no rights to tell us how we're going to run our community.
Just close your gate.
We do.
The difference is, though, that the money comes from the same people, whether it's the association or
Correct.
whether it's
Correct.
government.
I think the only way to expend the unreserved fund balance is through their taxes. So we'd have to add the highway and street line, say $100,000 if they want to reseal all their roads, and then in the fall, use $100,000 from the unreserved fund balance to kind of zero that out. It's just a matter of the legality of, can we add that highways and street line into their
When
budget?
it's their responsibility, association's responsibility.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
And who owns the roads?
I
Association.
think the association does.
That's
But it's
why-
made up of the taxpayers. that-
Well, I understand
Yeah.
that, but
They're
it's
paying
a
one way or
technicality,
another.
so.
Yeah, that's
It
precisely
is.
the point. It is a technicality.
Yeah.
Just gonna take a little work, that's all.
Yeah.
We'll get it reviewed.
Rob, did you want to see us?
In non-public.
Okay, we're gonna go into non-public as soon as we finish here with Hale's location.
I'll check with Robin Reed, she'll be coming too.
Okay,
Thanks.
so that's the problem. Any other problems you're having in Hale's location?
No.
Well, wait a minute, we do need to talk about that other issue.
The other, right, right.
The
Yeah.
issue with the
The
person in
association,
the person in the office.
yes.
Oh.
The association secretary has her office in the garage next door to my office. And she says in the summertime, it's fine when the garage doors are open, the air flows, but there's a lot of chemicals inside there that in the wintertime
Mhm.
really gets to her. And she has developed cancer. She doesn't know if it's related to the chemicals or not. But I had mentioned maybe sharing my office space with her, just so she doesn't have to be locked into the garage there. I deposit all money on the day it's received, so it's never an issue with that. I have a locking file cabinet that I can
Mhm.
disconnect the laptop.
We have liability
We have liability.
for her to be there, or him,
For
whoever
her
it
to
is?
be there, I don't think so.
Some of this is non-public.
What's that?
I don't know what they're discussing.
You think this is
I don't know.
non-public?
I don't know.
I think it's public. Yeah. She just wants
Do you
to.
guys
discussing
want to call me
reputation.
back when you're,
Yes.
Yeah,
so that it seems like
another
you
5 or
got.
10 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, just
Okay.
let me know.
Yep. Um,
She's already involved with the association. She knows everything that's going on in the association at this point anyway, as their secretary or
Mhm.
whatever her position is.
Mhm.
So,
She lives there?
no.
No, she doesn't.
She does not.
Okay.
So, there's nothing that you would have that would be something she wouldn't know about or couldn't know about.
Right.
I don't see what the,
Right.
what the problem is.
As long as I, lock up the computer, which has the assessing and the tax information,
And wouldn't
you
she,
know.
hey, that's public record.
I'm just saying, in
Yeah.
the program, if she
Yes.
ever found out my username and my
Oh, I see,
password,
okay.
I'm responsible for the information on that, on the taxes anyways, how I collected, when I made a payment or an abatement or so on. So I am responsible for that, so I wouldn't want anybody to access the computer,
Yeah.
you know.
So where you are, she's going to sit in the same room if she's going to
She
move?
would
Is it
be-
one open?
It's just a small
Just a small
office. It's maybe 10 by
Okay.
10.
It's very small.
It's
Oh,
small.
okay. And you
know.
still have a little spot for her that she can come in?
We
Well-
would share the desk,
Oh, you share a
They're not
desk?
working at the same time.
and we
Oh,
don't work at
okay.
the same time, correct?
Okay,
Correct.
so
I
you
forgot to
works
mention
in the
that.
morning, is that it?
She works Monday through Thursday. I work on Friday afternoons.
Oh, yeah, you work once a week, eh?
Mhm.
Oh, so actually it would,
Yeah, it would
Nice,
complement
yeah.
and it would help her out and as long
Should
as I
the
could secure
association
things.
approve that type of thing?
Oh, they're all set
Do
with
they
it.
have an annual meeting?
Mr. McClure was in last week and he thinks it's a great idea.
Is he the president? Okay.
how is she doing in the winter in the garage? What do they have, like portable
She has heat?
heaters?
They have
Portable
heat
heaters?
over there. Yeah,
The garage is a whole lot bigger than the office.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Ice thumbs.
Of course, it has all their equipment. and-
Yeah.
Well, what's the privilege of the Board of Commissioners?
The selectmen.
The selectmen, I'm sorry.
I have no problem with
I
I-
also have no problem. I think she can move in. I think it would work out good. The
Mhm.
days that she's there, you're
Mhm.
only once a week
Right.
there.
Okay,
Good,
done.
okay. And
it. Is there
voting?
anything further on their problem with the election?
Yeah, how's that
From
gonna
what
be
I
handled?
understand, they held an election and, not an election, but a vote to see if they could vote up at the hotel, like Dixville Notch does.
Uh-huh.
And it was voted down something like 68 to 18.
So,
Which
where are they
hotel?
gonna vote?
Up at the White Mountain, they wanted to vote. So I guess the Secretary of State was there and said that they will decide where they will vote,
Okay.
because they don't want to come to Albany.
And what was the problem?
Conway.
Conway don't want so anymore?
Conway-
It costs
Rhoda
money,
had-
costs Conway money to do it.
Plus, she has so many voters to take care of that she cannot rely on the validity of their count of votes. She's just so busy. There's a lot to do after the close of the polls. I have 600 voters in Albany, and we could definitely take care of them, but it will cost.
Mhm.
And I told them that it will cost $1,000 an election because I have to pay ballot clerks, supervisor of the checklist, moderator.
So you work in Albany too? You
I'm
work
a
in
town clerk,
Hills?
tax collector
Oh,
of
you-
Albany,
Oh, okay.
and I work in the selectman's office also in Albany.
Okay. So you work Monday to Thursday there then?
Monday through Friday, actually, and then in the afternoon I go over to Hales location,
So you work only Friday afternoon in Hills?
in Hales location.
There's not an awful lot to do.
I
Certain
get it
times
done.
of the year there is.
Correct, I spend between 2 and 3 hours. I'm open an hour and a half, but I spend between 2 and 3 hours.
She
a week.
handles the gun permits and those kinds of things.
Dorothy's favorite.
No other problems?
I got 100% of taxes are collected from the July.
How are we doing on reevaluation?
He should be done. The computers had gone down last week in one of the storms, and I didn't get over there until Friday.